Looks like RJ Merchant rolling off here in row number 2. So again, your front row, the 41 of Thor Anderson. Now hit to his outside is the 7S of Bob Fleshman. Pace picks up. Here we go. Back to racing here at Park Jefferson Speedway. Sean Berrigan not getting up to speed. He'll fall to the back of the pack as Thor Anderson takes the top spot. Bob Fleshman off the top of 1 and 2. Fleshman going to jump to the tail of the field as down the backstretch. Jay Notaboom gets on the gas. Move Notaboom back to the top spot. It's where he finished up last Saturday. He wants to start up front again tonight. Jay Notaboom leads. Chris Mills started on the final row. Now he's up to the 2nd spot. RJ Merchant, Thor Anderson, Jim Tees, your top 5. Top 5 cars pretty much single file around the speedway. Jim Tees trying to reel in Thor Anderson for that 4th spot. They'll go number to number through turns 3 and 4 as Notaboom still out front in the 7N. And down the backstretch, it's Notaboom, Mills, Merchant, Anderson, and Tees, your top 5 as Jay Notaboom got the hammer down, setting a torrid pace here in heat race number 1. Jim Tees again looks to the inside of Thor Anderson for the battle for that 4th spot. Tees goes hard into the corner. He's going to slide up in front of Anderson. Move Jim Tees up to P4. Anderson back to 5th. Now in the clutches of Sean Berrigan in the 88. But out front, it's nearly a half straightaway advantage for the driver out of Hinton, the 7N. It's the Hinton hot shoe. They call him Jay Notaboom. At the line, it's Notaboom, Mills, Merchant, Tees, and Anderson, your top 5. Chad Tenaple and Sean Berrigan battling for that 6th spot right behind Anderson. Now all 3 cars right together on track. Tenaple too high off turn 2 and out of backstretch. Chad Tenaple going to lose a bunch of ground. White flag waves for Notaboom as the battle for 5th heats up with Berrigan and Anderson. Jay Notaboom showing a little right side damage on the 7N machine. Notaboom going to pick up the win off of some strange damage on the front of the 7N machine. Mills will take 2nd, Merchant, Tees, and Anderson, your top 5. Not sure if he had that damage the whole way or I just missed it, but picking up the heat race win with some right front damage on the 7N. He picked up the feature win last Saturday night, and he's back. First one to the checkers tonight. Driver of the 7N, it's the Billy Moyer victory race car, the 7N of Jay Notaboom. 3 to the inside, that's the 14 of Matt Bonine. To Matt's outside, the 14F of Jason Fisher. And taking the tail of the field, Chris Paulsrock in the C5. The 7 cars set to go here in heat race number 2. For the Artworks Graphics, IMCA Modifieds. Green flag's out, here we go. Todd Boulware jumps to the front. Nick Lakes gets high, loses a couple spots to Kleinsma and Moore. Nick Lakes trying to fight back on the outside as Lakes and Moore will go wheel to wheel into turn number 3. Bob Moore runs the bottom side, slides up, takes the 3rd spot. But out front, Todd Boulware handling his business. It's Boulware, Kleinsma, Moore. Battle for 4th now with Nick Lakes and the 14F of Jason Fisher. Fisher goes slide job up the speedway in front of Nick Lakes. Now Bob Moore looks to the inside of John Kleinsma. Kleinsma driving the 10N tonight, the OK one-stop 10 in. Kleinsma on the top, Moore on the bottom. Moore gets to the bite. He gets back into the gas quicker, takes over that 2nd spot. But Todd Boulware almost a full straightaway over that battle for 2nd. Out front, it's all Todd Boulware in the 14. Todd Boulware in the 14 is your leader. 2nd is Bob Moore. 3rd in the 14, that's Matt Bonine. The all-black 14 of Matt Bonine in the third spot. John Kleinsma fourth, Nick Lakes fifth. But out front, Boulware continues to dominate heat race number 2. Again, Moore, Bonine, Kleinsma, and the 14F of Fisher rounding out your top 5. This time by the flag stand, it's still Todd Boulware, your leader. Boulware making the move into the A-Mods after dominating the Sport Mod division for quite some time. Boulware, a 5-time and defending Sport Mod champion. Well, not defending anymore because he moved into the A-Mods. The white flag waves. Todd Boulware is your leader, but Todd making the jump to the Sport Mods, to the A-Mods this year. And clearly very adept at modified racing here around Park Jefferson Speedway. As off of turn number 4, checkered flag out. Heat race number 2 goes to Todd Boulware. Big stretch of real estate back to Bob Moore second. Matt Bonine third. The 14F Jason Fisher fourth. And running at the top 5, the 10N of John Kleinsma. Well, how about it? He made the move to the A-Mod division this year, and he's looking awful fast already. Driver of the 14, your heat race winner is Todd Boulware. Outside the 1X, Chris Abelson. The 15M, Shane DeMay, rolls off inside of row 3. Also got Speed Schneider's out there, the 21 of Eric Faber, the 35 Jeff Behrens, all making the call here in heat race number 3 as we go green. Justin Sackett goes to the top spot, but here comes Chris Abelson. Shot out of a cannon down the backstretch. Move Abelson to the top spot. He got a little bit loose, allowing Sackett to get to his rear push bar. But off turn 4, back on the gas. Out east, they call him Mr. Excitement. It's Chris Abelson, your leader. Abelson and Sackett go 1 and 2. Jimmy Cole, Jim Matheson side by side. Cole on the bottom of the speedway. He moves up into that third spot. Matheson and Behrens your top 5. Speed Schneiders and Shane DeMay battling for the 6th spot. But out front, it's Chris Abelson, your leader. Jeff Behrens looks to the inside of Jim Matheson for 4th. Shane DeMay joins the battle as well. You can throw a blanket over those 3 cars battling for positions 4, 5, and 6. But Abelson starting to pull away from Justin Sackett and Jimmy Cole. Speed Schneiders joins the battle as well. We got 4 cars battling for 4 spots, all right together on the speedway down the backstretch. It is the best battle on track as Abelson about a 5-car advantage over Sackett, half a speedway back to Jimmy Cole. Behrens has taken the 4th spot. Speed Schneiders and Jim Matheson battling for 5th. Shane DeMay, Eric Faber back in the pack as well. Field starting to get stretched out, gets situated around Park Jefferson Speedway as Eric Faber looks to the inside of Jim Matheson. Matheson having trouble getting that M80 hooked up and handling in the right direction tonight. White flag waves, 1 to go for the 1X to Chris Abelson. Abelson with a big advantage over Sackett and Cole. Off of turn number 4, checkered flag in the air. Chris Abelson picking up the heat race win. 2nd to Justin Sackett. Jimmy Cole 3rd. Jeff Behrens. Speed Schneiders. Shane DeMay. The 21B, I have been told, is Jason Breeze, correction. The 21B of Jason Breeze. And then the MAD Jim Matheson rounding out the field. If you have not done so yet, I encourage you to head to the Speedway after the races. Check out the side panels on the 55 of Jimmy Cole if you can't make that out as he flies by. It says, thank you, friends and fans, for the continued support. Hashtag 55 strong. Glad to have Jimmy Cole back here at Park Jefferson Speedway. And if you have not done so yet, head into the pits tonight after the races and check out that machine. It is a beautiful modified and a great sentiment as Jimmy thanks the great friends and family he's had that have supported him through a very rough last couple of years. IMCA Modified's the 48 of Bob Moore. To his outside, the Billy Moyer victory race car, the 7N of Jay Notaboom. Rolling off 9th in the 14, that's Matt Bonine. To his outside, the 02 JR Chris Mills. Jeff Behrens in the 35. Thor Anderson in the 41. The 14F machine out of Lakefield, Minnesota, that's Jason Fisher. The 44X is Speed Schneider's. The 10N is John Kleinsma. Sean Berrigan in the 88. Chris Paulsrock in the 5. Shane DeMay, the 5N. The 20 of Chad Tenaple, the 17L, Nick Lakes. 21 of Jason Breeze, the M80 Jim Matheson, the 27 Daniel Loggins, the 7S of Bob Fleshman. Green flag, 20 laps, here we go. RJ Merchant goes to the top spot. Meanwhile, back in the pack, 2 and 3 wide, it's time to dance. It's Merchant, Sackett, Boulware, Abelson, your top 4, off of turn 4 in lap 1. Merchant, Sackett, Boulware, Abelson, Moore. Bob Moore catfishing on the bottom. He's making that bottom line work, moving to the front and getting there in a hurry. Moore challenging for 4th. Thor Anderson goes around in turn 4. Caution for the 41 of Thor Anderson. Anderson coming to a stop in turn 4, brings out the caution. 2 laps scored complete, 18 laps remain here in the Artworks Graphics Modified main event. Into turns 3 and 4, the Delaware double foul restart. RJ Merchant brings them back to green flag racing. Todd Boulware gets a good bite at the top of the speedway, but gets a little bit loose. Boulware and Sackett side by side for that runner-up spot. Meanwhile, working the top side of the speedway, here comes Jay Notaboom. Chris Abelson goes around. Chris Mills goes around. Daniel Loggins caught up. Jason Breeze caught up. Jim Matheson stopped in turn 4. Nick Lakes off to the top to avoid as well, as Chris Mills got looped around in front of the field. Todd Boulware, Bob Moore, now Jim T's your top 5. Green flag waves, here we go. Todd Boulware dives to the bottom, trying to get the bite on the bottom of turn 2. Boulware side by side with RJ Merchant into turn 3. Can Boulware take the top spot? He goes slide job Jones up the track. Bob Moore slides up as well. New leader Todd Boulware. Todd Boulware to the top spot. RJ Merchant second. Justin Sackett, Jay Notaboom, Jimmy Cole your top 5. As Bob Moore having some handling issues on the 48. Can't seem to keep it held down. Big bobble out of Moore in the 48 as he continues to fall back in the pack. Jay Notaboom looks to the outside of Justin Sackett in a battle for that 3rd spot. Notaboom picked up the win last week. Can he make it 2 in a row, or Todd Boulware get his first ever win in a modified? Notaboom with a big run off turn 2. Moved Notaboom up to P3. But Notaboom dives to the bottom. He's going to try to get around Merchant too. Up to second, the 7-hand of Jay Notaboom. The 14F goes around in turn 2 and gets back on the gas. We'll stay clean and green. Todd Boulware leads, but he's got a shark charging from behind. Jay Notaboom is lurking. trying to find a way around the 14 of Boulware. The 14F of Jason Fisher goes a lap down. New leader down the backstretch. It's Jay Notaboom. Shane DeMay off the top of turn 4. Shane DeMay stopped at the exit of turn number 4. He's going to have a caution. Caution for the 15M. 15M stops in turn 4. Tough break for Shane DeMay as he was trying to work his way to the front of the field. The lights are out around the Speedway. Notaboom, Boulware, Merchant, Sackett, Tees, green flag is out. Here we go. Todd Boulware took a look to the inside but couldn't make it work as Notaboom's got that top side, getting the hammer down. Off turn 4, it's Jay Notaboom. Todd Boulware, RJ Merchant, Jim Tees, Justin Sackett. With the track getting a lot of rain this afternoon, getting a couple spots that are getting a little bit rough, but the driver's doing a pretty good job of avoiding. As Notaboom continues to lead, battle for 4th heats up. Justin Sackett, Jim Tees battling for that 4th spot. But Jay Notaboom gotten perilously high in 1 and 2 that time. Notaboom still leads. Better line for Notaboom that time through 1 and 2. Didn't get quite as high. Jim Tees with a slider on RJ Merchant. Can't make it stick. Yellow in turn 4. Caution on the Speedway for the 7S of Bob Fleshman. Fleshman comes to a stop in turn number 4. So definitely check out that car in the pit area. "12 laps scored complete. 8 laps remain. We go back green." Todd Boulware trying to make that bottom line work, but Notaboom too strong up top. It's Notaboom, Boulware, Merchant, Tees, and Sackett, your top 5. Jeff Barron slows in 3 and 4, but Barons gets back on the gas, trying to get that 35 car going as Barons will rejoin the field. Looks like the bottom line is becoming the preferred line around the Speedway for everyone but Notaboom. Have to wonder if Jay will make the change. Jim Tees with a big run in the 23, trying to get around Justin Sackett for 4th. Todd Boulware, big bobble in 4, gets her sideways but straightens it back out. Another one out in the loose stuff. Matt Bonine going to lose about 5 spots, taking it off the top of turn 4. Justin Sackett having trouble in 1 and 2, loses 4th to Bob Moore and 5th to Jim Tees. As Notaboom now almost a half straightaway back to Todd Boulware. Chris Mills goes around again in 3 and 4. Mills on the infield in 3 and 4. Probably not far enough off track, but he gets it refired, pulls into the infield. Will stay green with Jay Notaboom out front and beginning to pull away. Jim Tees and Justin Sackett still battling for that 5th spot. As Bob Moore takes a look at the inside of RJ Merchant. Bob Moore got a right rear tire, getting some wear from the corner panel. Have to see if that tire holds out through the closing laps. Thor Anderson takes a shortcut through the infield. He'll rejoin the field. As Bob Moore goes slide job. Look out, Bob Moore trying to slide her contact with RJ Merchant. Merchant breaks something in the front end as well. Checkered finish as the lights go out. Notaboom, Boulware, Sackett, Tees, Cole, green, white, checkered finish. Here we go. 2-lap shootout for the A-Mods. Todd Boulware dives to the bottom of the speedway, has to check up, couldn't get the grip. Notaboom holds on. Into turns 3 and 4, coming to the white flag this time. Boulware still working the bottom. Notaboom pushing the cushion up top. Big bed sheet says we've got 1 to go. Matt Bonine goes around the top of 3 and 4. Bonine comes to a stop in 3 and 4. We'll have caution on the speedway, as the field had taken the white flag. We will have caution and checkered together. The entirety of the field had taken the white flag, and the caution came out after the field had taken the white flag. So your winner will be the 7N, 2 weeks in a row for Jay Notaboom. He'll pull back into victory lane here momentarily. So your top 5 looks like this. Finishing 5th will be the 55 of Jimmy Cole. 4th, the 17 of Justin Sackett. Jim Tees takes the 3rd spot in the 23. 2nd with a great run in the A-Mod for the 14 of Todd Boulware. And your winner heading into victory lane. He's already there. Ditzy the Twister. Enter Jay Notaboom t-shirts like she called her shot. He's got the helmet off. He can hear you make some noise for your feature winner 2 weeks in a row for Jay Notaboom.